5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let the games begin.
Ian, you're muted. You're still muted. There you go.
Hear me?
Yep, now you can.
All right, cool. What's up, all you crazy capitalists, you witty whiskey enthusiasts? Welcome to the Whiskey Capitalist Podcast. I'm Ian.
And I'm Shawn. I'm not muted, Shawn.
Make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow, and comment down below. And go to, I can't talk, and go to solo.to /thewhiskeycapitalist for all of our links and ways to stay up to date with us. And go to bit.ly /thewhiskeycapitalist merch to check out our fully stacked merch store. Tonight, we are going to be talking about a good couple of topics. First off, we're going to be doing our discussion about Rekieta and Rekieta law and how he got banned from the internet. Not from the internet. He's not an Alex Jones yet. But he got banned from Twitter, which he still is, and then he got banned from YouTube, but then he got his channel back. It's a whole big fucking deal. And and then we're going to also be talking about Tulsi Gabbard announcing that she is not a Democrat anymore. And then she just went, I don't know if you watched it, but she just went on the Joe Rogan Experience and had some choice words. It's a little bit of a longer video that I clipped out, but
okay. Yeah, no, I heard that she went on Joe Rogan, but I have not seen the clips.
There's clips that obviously the JRE, the YouTube channel, is going to put out, and it's not as spicy. Of course. I clipped out, it's probably about 11 minutes, is a very good chunk of discussion that they had over their, I think 2-3 hour podcast. And it's worth it. Okay, fine. That'd be fun. Let's just say that. So with that, and just to let you guys know, I was almost super late because I had to poop.
No one would have known the countdown was going, buddy. Like
Yeah,
no one knew.
I even told you, I was like, hey, I'll be there in a minute. It was either like I'm uncomfortable the whole stream or I'm gonna go poop now. So I pooped, but and I gave like a courtesy flush, like so there was, you know, after the poop flush, and then you wipe, and my toilet didn't want to flush after I wiped. So I'm gonna play the intro and then I'm gonna go flush. So
this is why I keep a bucket next to me at all times when I'm doing the live streams.
You shit in a bucket? Oh my god. Okay.
Hey, the stream is more important at this point.
It is. Well, all right. So if you want to do that intro, I'll be right back.
Sure.
All right, cool.
Yeah, let me find the video now. Oh, you're gonna put me on the spot. Oh.
Who else in the level car say yeah?
Look at that big, juicy booty.
Hot like a tamale.
Be offended.
Do you love black people? Do you grow?
You know the thing.
Here, next.
Don't be rude. You ain't black.
Shawn Cav.
You're going to have a flame coming out of your butthole.
Heartfelt.
A man and a woman.
Ian is still busy wiping himself, I think, and flushing. Oh wait, no, he just made it back. So, not the end of the world, everybody. He's here. His butthole's clean. I should have had the video propped up for that one. The butthole. There you go. His butthole is clean.
Yeah, dude, that was horrible. Okay, don't ever take a shit and then walk back in within 2 minutes. Oh,
because your nose has been acclimated to normal smells again.
Oh my god, dude! Like I literally walked in just to fucking flush the toilet. Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
oh,
and
that fucking had me.
And Trevor, that was just the one time we started late. So yeah, your clock should be set to normal Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, or as Rekieta's chat says, late and gay. So you want to start with the Rekieta stuff, or do you want to start with the Tulsi stuff?
No, let's do the Rekieta stuff.
Okay, so basically, what happened with Rekieta? So we talked about it before about with the Keffals stuff, right?
Right. Yeah, and that was the big controversy that kind of got him the initial like strikes and everything that get almost kicked off of YouTube in the first place. He had to fight that a few times.
Well, yeah, and so basically what happened is Keffals, being the shit person that she is for, many reasons, is and just a quick backstory if you didn't see what we did. Basically, Keffals is a trans woman. Yeah, I fucking so just confused on the fucking.
It's tough.
Now, but yeah, so trans woman who is a streamer, whatever, and she helps minors get HRT. So was that
human? It's like it's the hormone replacement therapy.
Yeah, but it's not from doctors. It's homemade shit from other countries and what homemade chemicals you can mix together, basically bathtub fucking hormones.
Yeah.
And
gross.
yeah, exactly. And supporting them. And it's like, there's a difference between like giving counsel or like talking to minors that might have this, this mental issue. 'Cause that's what it was for years. I'm just going to be honest.
Right.
But there's a difference between counseling them and, or a psychologist or a therapist or something like that. That's a complete difference with minors and that whole thing. And when you're over 18, do what the fuck you want. I don't give a fuck.
And even if you go through it in the proper channels of going through like for hormone replacement therapy and stuff like that, they make you see counselors and they make you go and see doctors and stuff like that before actually proceeding with those types of treatments. And the thing is this is like their way around all that. Like, oh, if you can't get a doctor's note, then we know somebody who will just write them for you.
Yeah, don't talk to your parents. You don't have to do that. Circumvent the parents. It was the issue that's going on in school right now, everything like that. So it's all.
Well, we just lost Ian for a minute here. But yeah, he was going on about just essentially the whole Keffals thing, and Ian is leaving the chat for a second, everybody, as he stated. I think his camera just kind of died on him, so I'm going to take him off the screen for a minute, and then we'll get back to him. Just some other news that I got going on here. Let me see if I have my banner here for what I'm doing. So solo.to slash I'm Shawn Cav. You can kind of go over there. And those are all my links down there. One of the things, the reason why I'm sharing this right now is because of the fact that like I'm doing this 5K race on Sunday, and it's for cancer research and trying to raise money for that. And I think everybody's had cancer affect them in one way, shape, or form. So I think it would be like, you know, it's a good deed. It's a good gesture to just kind of like donate to something like that. And you're sponsoring me along with it. So, you know, you're helping out a good cause essentially. So you can go to solo.to slash I'm Shawn Cav. And I think I put it as like the top link on my thing. So you don't have to go anywhere else. You just go there, you just click on the thing, and then you can donate a couple of dollars towards, you know, cancer research and stuff like that. So that's pretty much what I got going on for that one. And I have a few other topics I'm going to end up talking about today too. So like obviously we're going to get to the whole Rekieta law thing, and then we're also going to be talking about Tulsi Gabbard. And you know, I even have a video on that one too, which I think most people have probably seen at this point. But if we don't talk about it, it'll become old news. So like this is why like you have to kind of like stay on top of these things and do weekly streams all the time. The other topics I got for today would be the fact that the Biden administration is requiring trans women, you know, I always get this confused, and it's not me being like an ignorant asshole or something. It's literally fucking confusing if it's trans men, what they were before to what they are now type deal. So trans women, it's requiring them to still sign up for the draft. So therefore, like they are not exempt, even though now they think that they're women and they should be treated as women are treated. It's like, well, no, you were born a man, therefore, you know, and if women and men can all be in the army and whatnot, then why would they be exempt from the whole thing? The whole thing just seems a little silly. So anyway, that's another topic I want to go over. And then I have another video as well that I want to touch on. So like, I know Ian's got the one where it's going to be for Joe Rogan and Tulsi Gabbard. I have one where it'll be a little bit more fun. I think we're going to try and maybe end the episode with this one where it's going to be like questions and it's people agreeing or disagreeing. If you're familiar with Jubilee and like those types of videos, like it's one of those from a while back, but it's all catered towards like Trump supporters and things like that. So I think it'd be kind of fun. And also the wide variety of people that they got on the show is going to be they give you a wide spectrum of different takes on it. So it'll be fun to get into that. I wonder where Ian is at this point. He's kind of just bailed on me. Let's take a look at the comments. Let's see here. Government got, oh yeah, maybe he got like, what was that called? Swatted? Yeah, he got swatted by the internet. That could totally be. So I'm just going to interact here with the comments for a little bit. And let's see here. Movies. Great Avatar, Ian. I don't really know what's going on with that one, but you know, movies you want to explain, don't go right ahead. Don't eat ghost pepper wings before your 5K. I did before last one. You ate a ghost pepper before running a 5K? I couldn't even imagine. And what the hell? I'm getting random fucking phone calls too while I'm streaming. I should just turn off my phone, to be honest. And then no, like so like for my 5K, I just plan on probably running with I don't know, just carbo load, you know, just I don't know, something decent. I don't know. Give me some good suggestions, whether it's just going to be like a bowl of cereal or just some like eggs or something. I don't know. But I need to know, because I'm not an experienced runner, so therefore I won't know how to go about preparing to do the 5K the right way, I suppose. I've been training for this thing for like 2-3 weeks now, and like my run time is just about like, you know, 38 minutes at my best. So I'm not built for speed by any means. If you see me in person, it's like I'm just all bulky and like tall and whatnot. Like I'm not built to be able to run fast by any means. But, you know, I'm going to try. I'm going to try just like, you know, not embarrass myself or nothing like that. If I end up walking for a while, then, you know, so be it. It's a 5K. You know, it's whatever. I'm raising money for a good cause. It's not about like, I'm not going to get a fucking medal at the end of this thing or anything. But, yeah, what else you got here, Trevor? Must have accidentally flushed his router. Yeah, it's totally possible. Maybe. But yeah, why don't you guys leave me some comments? Tell me what you're drinking tonight, because right now I have a what is this? This is the ranch water grapefruit, like what was it, the ruby grapefruit one? Delicious. I love these things. And then also I enjoy these little like the can koozies. keeps your beverage nice and cold. I got a few beers next to me for when this one runs out. And honestly, I think this is turning into a solo fucking episode. I don't know what's going on with Ian. Figured he would have been back by now. But I guess in the meantime, I can go over my topics. So let's just go ahead and let's just move forward with that then. So we're going to go right over to the whole trans having to go into the army thing. Alrighty, share my screen, go into my Chrome tab, and then I'm going to share because, of course, the news article that makes a big stink about this is the Pink News. The Pink News is this like completely like LGBTQ related news source, and they just made a big deal about this thing. And like there was other articles that I came across that were a little bit more like centrist, but I felt this was more like, this is funny just because of how like they got takes from other people, like from like Twitter and stuff like that, how upset people are, or the LGBT community is about this. Trans women must sign up for the US military draft under irrational and outdated rule. And of course they show a bunch of men and women that don't look very happy about having to be in the army. Well, I mean, like, this is one of the things that when you sign up, like, or when you become like a citizen in the US, like, so that you're 18 years old, you are now considered an adult. And, you know, for the longest time, it's always been like men had to sign up for the draft. Women didn't have to ever sign up for the draft, but the reasoning behind a lot of this was because of the fact that, like, you know, you were getting the right to vote, and with the right to vote came the, you know, responsibility of having to like fight for your country too as well. But then women didn't want to do that, so then like they got exempted from the whole thing, so women didn't have to ever sign up for the draft. But men who decide to become females are not exempt, and this is coming from the Biden administration, which I found to be hilarious, considering they're always been like the fighters for everyone's rights and this and that, and believer of all people who want to pretend that they're other things than what they were born as. So here it is, like the selective service. Oh, and this is like too funny too. Look at the handle for the selective service, SSSS. It's very kind of like Aryan of them, I would say at the very least. Parents, if your son is an only son and the last male of your family to carry the family name, he is still required to register for SSS. And it just shows two a happy father and son there. Like, oh, I can't wait for my son to sign up for the draft. Yeah, but you know what? Like, the more the left wants to keep pushing for World War III, the more likely the draft is going to be in place. Like, it's going to become an actual thing. Then we go down a little bit further. There were some great quotes in this. Oh, right down here. So this is where they actually grabbed like some like quotes from like Twitter and stuff like that, where people were like starting to freak out. Like, fuck the selective service system and the transphobic bioessentialist inclusion of trans women as men, one user said. Another comment on the letter had received saying, being trans isn't fun anymore. Being trans isn't fun anymore. Oh, isn't that something? I just got my selective service system letter, and they're going to put me in the trenches. Oh God, no. But because you have to fight for the country that's fighting for your rights. Essentially, like the biggest problem I'm seeing with a lot of this, let me see if I can switch this angle around. Here we go. I'm a little bit bigger. The biggest problem I'm seeing with this right now is the fact that, you know, people, they have so many rights in this country, especially people of like minorities or just like selected groups that tend to think that they're being infringed on for their rights. So like when it comes to like the LGBTQ community, for example, in this exact, this article here, you know, you have people who essentially, you know, like if they go anywhere else in the world, they're being persecuted for who they are. Here in the US, they can be who they are. They can express themselves the way they want to express themselves. And people typically have to like respect or respond to it in a professional manner. Otherwise, they will get doxxed or they'll lose their jobs, or, you know, like bad things will happen. Let's just put it that way. Bad things will happen if they do not follow suit with what is expected of them by, like, you know, the alphabet mafia. So them complaining about the fact that, like, you know, oh, they have to sign up for like the draft. Like, well, what about everybody else? Everybody else has to sign up for the draft when it comes down to this thing. Hey, guys, guess what? I think Ian's back. Ian is back, everybody. Look at him.
Can
Look
you
at
hear
him.
me?
He's
Can you hear me
here.
okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can't? Okay, dude, okay, so I don't know what the fuck happened, but my camera literally disconnected from the fucking computer. My audio interface disconnected from the computer, and I literally have my iPhone connected to like a internet webcam thing into OBS. Like, dude, what the fuck?
It's okay. Don't.
It's not.
Well, now you're feeling how I felt on Monday when my internet was making me do auto tune the whole time. Whoa! You know.
Good God. Okay.
You're feeling my stress now.
Okay, so what are you talking about?
What's going on? Who are you doing?
No, I didn't fucking accidentally flush my router.
I thought that was pretty funny though.
No, that was good.
No, I'm talking about the trans. Wait, oh, sorry.
What's my avatar?
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
You talking about the what trans stuff?
Yeah, I'm talking about the trans being forced to go into the army, and like they're so upset about it. And one of my favorite quotes of the whole thing is, "Being trans isn't fun anymore." It's right in the article. It
wasn't fucking supposed to be fun, you dickhead.
Well, because it's all about just being trendy. It's like, this is what it was. It was like, hey, it's gonna be cool to be trans. You ain't cool unless you're trans.
Oh my God, dude, okay. But you know, when everyone was fucking this is kind of nice that I don't have to speak into a microphone. It's
you like
great.
it?
I can like freely woohoo. Sorry. Yeah. So it's like, you know, a lot of people were saying, you know, a lot of these kids, you know, some of them are just going through a phase.
Yeah, I mean, like that honestly, I think we can all agree that, like, you know, phases do happen as teenagers for sure, and then as like an early young adult, like from like 18 to 25, you're still figuring out who the hell you are. Yeah. And some people probably need a little bit more help with it than others, you know, and these are the types of people that we're talking about here. But when it comes to this article, like this is just like, and this is from Pink News, which I came across from like Steven Crowder. It's an all like gay news source. So everything they post is all like LGBT related, of course.
Sorry, that's just fucking funny.
Yeah.
Dude, I am so yellow. I don't have jaundice, guys. It's I promise.
Well, I'm not judging, but I'm just saying that, like, you know, these people are given so many rights in the country that they live in. And this is basically like another Brittany Griner type scenario, if you ask me, where it's like, all right, you go somewhere else then, and you're going to be persecuted for who you are and how you feel about other people and stuff like that. If you're gay and you go like into another country, you're going to be persecuted, or you're going to be treated like lesser than, or killed. You know, it's not a great situation for a lot of other places in the world. Stop playing with your colors and be a part of the conversation, buddy.
No, I'm hearing you. I'm just trying to make
you're turning into Kermit the Frog.
Dude, I'm trying to not be Trump right now. I am fucking.
Just go full saturation and.
Okay, this is what it was.
Right.
I'm on Sesame Street right now. Shut up. Keep going.
but I'm just
keep talking.
Yeah, shut up. I don't want to hear anything else you have to say.
Go on.
But yeah, like what I'm talking about is like it's just like, it's about rights. It's about the rights of appreciating where you come from. Hey, and you know, if you got to sign up for the fucking draft, you sign up for the fucking draft. And the fact that the left is pushing for World War III, chances are the draft is going to come back, and it's going to come back full force.
No, so okay, so you were talking about this after I was talking about the whole Keffals shit.
Well, yeah, because you dropped off, and therefore I started going on about my 5K that I'm doing, trying to raise money for that, and then I was like, hey, you know what, Ian's still not here. I'm just gonna do one of my topics while he's away.
Yeah, I tried to listen a little bit while I was fuming over here in the studio.
I understand. Hey, Goose Faba.
Yeah, Goose Faba. Woosah. But yeah, so I forgot exactly where I was, but yeah, okay. So Keffals was giving HRT to minors and trying to facilitate that, and had a Discord server. Which, if you don't know what Discord is, then you are living life correctly. Don't worry about that shit. That's just fucking gross. But it's basically like a Twitter or another, you know, streaming thing where it's a chat room, you know, all that stuff. And she I say that, you know, lightly just because we're on YouTube, had a Discord server that was called a Catboy Discord server, which immediately is just kind of weird. And then it was just, there were a bunch of minors in there, and there were a bunch of, you know, impressionable youths that were, you know, just like you were saying, that it could be, or you know, we're talking about the trans stuff and how they're, you know, it's not cool to be trans anymore. Well, it's cool for all these kids that are in that and all the people that are involved in this, and you know, the trend hasn't died out yet with them, and just basically, you know, it's just influencing all these people. And Rekieta said that Keffals, I don't care what you're doing. If you're over 18, do what you want. Cut your dick off, add a dick, cut your tits up. Do whatever you want to do. But or be just identify as whatever you want. But if you are doing that to kids, but stay the fuck away from kids. And anyone that does that should get on the wall. Now, get on the wall is an idiom, right? So there's a lot of different ways that you can take that. There's obviously the get on the wall idiom of, you know, the way they used to do firing squads. There's obviously that connotation you can take from it. And everyone has a different thing. But the way that Rekieta is basically saying it is get on the wall. It's an idiom as like be exposed to society and then be removed from society. You know what I mean? Like that was his.
He definitely lawyered up on that when he went off like trying to explain, like, because he didn't fully explain, but that was the point. The point was like, all right, what does it mean to you? And then he kept on going off about it that way. And then when he would turn around, then he'd be like, oh well, you know, then yeah, that's what it means. It means whatever, like whatever I meant it, you know, to go by. Yeah. Yeah.
So basically, what he has said it a bunch of other times around, because I watch him pretty much every day, and he said it a bunch of other times, and every other time it is around a situation that is pretty kind of disgusting. And also there's another way to take it with the because instead of calling them, you know, pedos or fucking pederasses, they call them maps, right?
Right. They try to get around using that word to describe themselves. They're like, oh, we're maps.
Yeah, so it's maps. It's minor attracted persons, right? Mm-hmm. So what do you do with maps? On the wall. Right? So there's that way. So there's a lot of different ways you can take it, but this fucking retard took it and put the clip up of him saying it and cut it up and then took out of context what he said afterwards. And Keffals said in a tweet said what Rekieta said, that he wants me to be put on a wall and shot. Rekieta never said anything about being shot. This was never in his conversation. So then after that happened, that guy Duncan McLeod, that absolute douchebag got dunked on. And funniest part about it is fucking Rekieta was drunk as hell. So it's great.
Yeah, and we watched a lot of that stream like on here.
It's just great that he was like, I don't need to be sober for this. Like this is fucking light work. So he goes on and does that, and then he did a stream about it, and then he got mass flagged on that one, and then got a strike. He was suspended for 2 weeks, right? Gets suspended for 2 weeks, and then during that time, Keffals and then another Twitter user named Esquire, who I guess it's already funny, and then they were both calling for mass flagging, basically to mass flag, which is against YouTube and Twitter's terms of service, which I don't know why they're not removed. And also, they were calling to have him actually get ethics violations from the lawyer board. I'm forgetting the technical fucking name for it, but in I think it's Minnesota is where he's at. But yeah, so he got 45 ethics complaints sent to him. So what he did is he went on YouTube and went on stream, and because when you make an ethics complaint, it's not like an anonymous YouTube report. It's not like an internet fuck. You put your full name, you put your address, and you put your email. And so he was like, I'm gonna read it. Like, you agreed to have this fucking information out there. So this isn't doxing. This isn't anything like that. So I'm gonna read it, especially if, and I'm gonna read it because fuck you. That's why. But what he did is, he literally, that's literally his words. He said, I'm gonna read it because fuck you. That's why. And he said, but what I'm gonna do, because I don't know about YouTube's, whatever. So I'm going to, I'm going to redact the phone number, the address, and the email out of it, and just put the first and last name. I'm going to read that on YouTube, and then I'm going to go on Locals, which is his community that he's built up because of the YouTube shit, and I'm going to put the full unredacted document up there. He ended up not doing that because YouTube did their shit and then got mass flagged for whatever for that. So then he was banned. After he got banned, every single person, I swear, on fucking Twitter was like, at Team YouTube, fuck you, like, what are you doing here? This is ridiculous. And then within 36 hours, I think, he was reinstated, but he is still suspended for 2 weeks. So it's like they took one of the things off. So it's like, and then now fucking LawTube, all the LawTube streamers that are on there, there's fucking drama going on with that now.
Really?
Well, yeah, because like, Nick was kind of, not saying that there weren't other lawyer streamers and doing stuff like that, but Nick was kind of the one who was doing it big time and gave a lot of people, like, there's Legal Bites, Hogue Law, Good Logic, Legal Mindset, Legal Vices, like all these other ones, other channels that have kind of owe a lot of their success to Nick. And Legal Bites, who's a complete bitch, and Hogue Law, who's a fucking fat little troll, they both, there's like a difference between being like, hey, I support my friend and he shouldn't have been banned, but I'm not going to have an actual opinion on the facts of it until the facts come out, because I don't know what's going on. Like, there's a difference between that and being like, well, I don't know the facts, and I'm just not going to say anything, and you don't have to watch his channel if you don't want. And it's like, really? Like, this guy who gave you your platform, pretty much, because he would have her on the Rittenhouse trial, he had her on the Johnny Depp stuff, like had her as a guest on his stream. So like, it's this whole fucking thing. And his friend, I think I sent you and Movies a message, a DM about Drex, the guy who like followed me or followed us.
Okay.
He's Rekieta's best friend. Is a black dude from like college, and he is fucking hilarious. He is the Midtown Podcast, is him, and he doesn't give a fuck. He's starting to call Legal Bites fucking Two-Face, like Harvey Dent, and like saying all this fucking shit, and went off for like in a 3-hour stream, just like, fuck these people, they have no loyalty, they're absolute fucking bitches, like blah blah blah. And Nick is just kind of like he's like not trying to have drama, but he's like, you ain't wrong.
Yeah, but it's surrounding him. Like, he can't help it, because right now everyone's being outspoken, and I think more people probably should be outspoken about it, especially like you're saying, like Rekieta kind of like set the standard and like paved the way for these other like law YouTube like streamers to kind of like come out and like have a following and whatnot. There was a market for it, so like that's because of him.
It's just it's just disgusting. It's like, there's a difference between like saying, okay, I don't agree with his position on something, but that doesn't mean he should be fucking banned. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, just because I don't agree with what someone says doesn't mean that I don't think they should have, what's the whole thing? I don't agree with what you say, but I'll fight to the death.
Yeah, you should have the right to say it.
Yeah, I'm probably fucking butchering that shit. But yeah, so with all of that, where's this fucking guy? Of course I can't fucking find him. There's a guy, everyone's been doing, everyone with the memes and the, everything, it's fucking great. There is a guy who has been killing it with the memes. And there we go. Charlie D'Angelo. Let me see.
Yeah.
I'm going to share my screen real quick. Oh yeah, that was another thing. When I was off the thing, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go on my phone and like just live stream from there and use this. But I was like, but I need to share my screen and share videos. And I can't
it makes it a little bit harder to.
Yeah, so I was almost back a lot quicker.
All good, man. We're here.
Sorry, the coffee is just hitting me now. I had a second cup. So let me see. We have. Okay. He did deep fakes with Rekieta all over it.
Nice.
Dude, that nose, man.
Yeah, I think isn't that like that face swap app or something like that? Because I used to have something like that on my phone. It was like it would give you like clips and you just put like a face on there. Oh, yeah, look at that! I saw that one earlier.
Well, yeah, that's the one that I tweeted out and then he retweeted. He was like, "Oh, hey, what's going on, bud?"
Yeah, that's cool. Pretty cool.
Here I come, baby. No, dude, Beetlejuice might be one of the best movies out there. Feeling kind of anxious.
Working a guy like me, find a little trouble or whatever you.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, God damn it! There's so many more.
Oh yeah, there was the one with The Shining.
I just helped 12 teenagers start transitioning because of your tweet to spite you. This is Keffals. This is the person we've been talking about.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
This is her words. I don't know. It's ridiculous. Oh yeah, this one's good.
Yeah, you gotta make sure you share the audio next time. But
oh, did I not share the audio?
yeah, there's no audio, but it's fine. It's whatever.
Hold on, we're doing this.
Okay, then you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it right. Make sure you
see exactly.
Check the little box.
Hold on, let me try and see. What about now? No?
Nope. No audio, buddy.
Whatever.
It's okay. Don't sweat it.
But I think it's funny that they put Rekieta as Jack Nicholson and Duncan as the chick. I can't fucking remember her name.
Mm-hmm.
That was great. There was some other ones. There was some other fucking really good ones like a while ago.
What's that one? That's Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura, and then Keffals as the.
Yeah, again,
kind of funny too.
It's hilarious, but like again, we're not getting the audio on this end, but it's all good. We're just gonna keep on scrolling on through.
Yeah. Well,
what else you got here?
Okay.
Oh, there's the Rekieta.
Oh yeah, this is another random one. I don't think that's Rekieta. But yeah, no. So there's a fucking bunch of them. There was one there was a Braveheart one that was fucking amazing, but I can't. It was like, God damn it! Like that's the one that I want to find and I can't fucking find. So Charlie,
you gotta bookmark these things.
Yeah, well, I was working on your intro, so
I'm not giving you a hard time, man. I'm just trying to offer some help.
Here's one. This one's good.
Oh, nice.
I mean, I'm kind of
420.
Yeah. I'm kind of glad there's no audio, so there's no copyright. Good. But yeah, I can't find any other ones. Yeah, this is my general reaction to all of them. Kevin laughing. Okay, so I'm good on that. I think that.
Let's get to the Tulsi Gabbard stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be. All right. So if it's not showing up with audio there,
can you send me the link? Can you
it's a video. It's like a video that
you downloaded the video?
No, I recorded it screen record on my phone.
Ah, shit.
Yeah. So let's see.
Well, you should be able to share the file when you go to present. A video file, and then it'll pop up at the bottom. You should be able to do it that way.
Okay. What about when we were talking about chumminess and sort of the hidden rules? What about if you?
Okay, real quick.
Wait, before we do this, shouldn't we show the video that she made, like announcing that she was leaving the Democratic Party?
Yeah,
I have that. I have that.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Awesome.
I'll share that real quick, and then we'll switch over to this one, just so that way we're all on the same page here. Okie dokie,
Yeah.
here we go.
Yeah, sorry, and I'm fucking still heated over my fucking shit.
I can tell you're flustered, man. You're like all over the map, but it's okay because we're gonna get through it as a team.
I can no longer remain in today's Democratic Party that's under the complete control of an elitist cabal of warmongers who are driven by cowardly wokeness.
Right there, it took her, how many seconds is that? Like 11 seconds for her to like call out the left for all the evil fucking shit that they're doing. 11 seconds. That's all it took. To throw it out there.
And how we say that, like, conservatives for the most part, they're pretty good about calling out their own too and being like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? Like Liz Cheney and like all this shit. But
as we should. We should all be calling out our own parties for any kind of fucked up bullshit that might be coming out of it.
Yeah, but that's what I was getting to. Like, conservatives are a lot better, but Democrats don't do it at all.
Right.
So, like, for her to be a former Democrat now and to come out and say it, it's sad that the only way that she can say it is by coming out and saying, "Now I'm not one." You know what I mean?
Right.
Who divide us by racializing every issue and stoking anti-white racism. Who actively work to undermine our God-given freedoms that are enshrined in our Constitution. Who are hostile to people of faith and spirituality, who demonize the police but protect criminals at the expense of law-abiding Americans.
John Fetterman.
Who believe in open borders, who weaponize the national security state to go after their political opponents, and above all, who are dragging us ever closer to nuclear war.
How about that? That is, like, she's spot on with everything that she's saying. Can you hear everything all right? You good?
Yeah, no, everything's fine. It's just, but she's always kind of been like that.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, like, I've been following her for a few years now. Like, I think, like, she's been, like, one of the most level-headed, like, reasonable Democrats that's been out there, And, like, she's basically a Republican, but, like, just across the party lines.
She is the only Democrat that I had any sort of like positivity towards, like in the debates in the last, during the last election or whatever.
Yeah,
the only one where I was like, okay, you have some sort of like, head on your shoulders, like good head on your shoulders,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
there's no maliciousness.
Exactly. Let me hear
to undermine our God criminals at the expense of law-abiding Americans. Who believe in open borders, who weaponize the national security state to go after their political opponents, and above all, who are dragging us ever closer to nuclear war.
Right.
Now, I believe in a government that's of the people, by the people, and for the people. Unfortunately, today's Democratic Party does not. Instead, it stands for a government that is of, by, and for the powerful elite. Now, I'm calling on my fellow common sense, independent-minded Democrats to join me in leaving the Democratic Party.
And that's not a crazy statement. Her face is kind of funny like that. By my usual funny, but like it's not a crazy statement. Like, she wants all the level-headed, independent-thinking Democrats to consider leaving the party with her because, like, it's gone too far. She's admitting that the left has gone too far to the left, and it's not anywhere near like the Democratic Party she was raised, like, seeing or anything like that. Like, what we were all raised to kind of exposed to. At one point, Republicans were the ones that were like too extreme, like when I was a child, and then the pendulum swung the other direction.
If you can no longer stomach the direction that the so-called woke Democratic Party ideologues are taking our country, then I invite you to join me. I can.
Yeah, so there you go.
Okay, so with that, there's more. She kind of goes a little bit more into that, and like a lot of the way like the Democratic Party is running the elitism in this thing, which is pretty cool. It like I said, I like her out of any of the Democrats at all. Like, she is probably one of the ones where I'm like, all right, yeah, like you got you got some sense in you, and she's gone on Rogan a couple times, which is another thing where it's like a lot of these people aren't going on Rogan.
Well, a lot of Democrats don't want to have any kind of debate conversation with anybody who might oppose a viewpoint of theirs, because a lot of times they don't have good arguments. It's just kind of like talking points. And it's like, well, and then they bring up an opposing viewpoint, and then they just kind of like curl up into their shell. Like they don't have a response. They're not used to debate.
It's an ad hominem. It's an instead of actually having a good point, it's an ad hominem attack. And then, you know, it's like, okay, then it devolves into fucking debate, bro. You know what I mean? Where you're just like, so, and what's funny is all the things that we've said that all of conservatives and all the people, independents, libertarians, whatever, that have said about the Democratic Party, she's like, yep. So
do right-wing talk shows. What about when we were talking about like chumminess and like sort of like the hidden rules? What about if you do right-wing talk shows? Like if you're a Democrat and you decide to go on Tucker Carlson, for instance, like what is that like?
It ranges from people kind of like giving you a cynical look, like whose side are you really on, to people just outright ending that friendship or that professional relationship because they don't want to have anything to do with you.
Have you experienced that?
Over and over.
Really?
Over and over. And it's not just Tucker Carlson. There's been this negative stigma for almost as long as I've served in Congress against anyone who actually goes on Fox News, period. And so you could say, like, and I do, I was like, hey, more people watch Fox News than any other cable news channel. So my audience is speaking to the American people. If I have the opportunity to do that, and by the way, Fox News, more than CNN and MSNBC over the last decade, has been more fair to me in providing me that opportunity to speak to the American people, I'm going to take advantage of it.
Well, it seems like
I think that's a great point. Like right there. Sorry, I paused it, but like just making some great points there. Where it's like, hey, yeah, you should be able to go and have these conversations with people on the opposite side of the aisle, because essentially that's what people really want to hear. Like, I get so sick of the echo chamber shit, you know, like, and if I tune into like. Yeah, absolutely. It works on both sides, and that's the big point where a lot of people. I saw people posting about Tulsi Gabbard where they're like over. It was like, oh well, so what? She's leaving the Democratic Party. Goodbye. We don't want her. It's like, I tweeted back. I was like, well then we'll take her. Like by all means. Like she's fine by me.
It's one of those things where it's like, okay, so you're saying that instead of trying to debate her or kind of make her, you know what I mean? Like have her come back or like give her like, hey, why are you going? Like what's going on? Like your exit interview with a job or something. You know what I mean? They're like, okay, what didn't you like about this? HR. It's like they're just like, okay, go fuck you. You don't believe what I believe. And it's like, dude, like I've said so many times, like I don't just watch conservative content. Like I love Jimmy Dore. He's a fucking progressive. He believes in fucking universal basic income. He believes in universal fucking healthcare. He believes in a lot of fucking things that I don't believe in, but he also has a funny twist to it. So again, me and comedy, that's a whole, like I'll listen to someone who's funny before I listen to someone who's bland that agrees with all of my
points. Because comedy is based in truth.
Yeah, and also that's life, dude. Like you go through life, and that's the way that I am. Just like the same thing that we had with the shabusiness shit. Like my first reaction was like, "Holy shit, dude! Like this is crazy!" Like it was a laugh because I like to be funny, and so like I'm gonna agree with that. Like I'm gonna at least listen to that person. Jimmy Dore, Russell Brand. I'll watch Breaking Points with fucking Sagar and Crystal. And Crystal's kind of a dingus sometimes, but like I still want to know what's going on the other side, because then it makes it easier for me to be like, okay, well, I see your point, but you're wrong, you know? So like,
yeah. And having that civil discourse, that's the part that's missing in a lot of these situations, the civil discourse of it, where like, you know, right-wing commentators will most likely go and join a left-wing show for like debate or anything like that. But you're going to find it almost next to impossible to get a left-wing commentator to actually go on to a right-wing show without being paid tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just kind of crazy. So I'm gonna push play.
Yep.
On this.
One of the things that Fox News does well is if they have a Democrat on, they don't attack them. They allow them to express themselves.
That's right.
Which is interesting.
Whether the host agrees or disagrees,
Right.
that's not the point.
Because when a right-wing person seems to be, if they're on MSNBC or if they're on CNN, it's like they have these weapons ready to go, the blades are sharp, and they attack. And they're trying to discredit that person, trying to mock them. They will talk over them. They will be rude to them. They will mock whatever position they have, and instead of like trying to offer some sort of a reasonable debate against it, they will talk over it.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick.
A lot of logic.
Yeah, it was almost to the point where, like, when I was watching this last night, I was like, is this fucking real? Like, because, I mean, not saying that Joe Rogan isn't logical and Joe Rogan doesn't have, some great points and whatever, but, he's usually against Fox News and against all this stuff. And, like, so I'm hearing him talk about it and I'm like, holy shit. Like, so both of y'all are fucking, you know what I mean? Like, what's going on
I think he's definitely had to have experienced this in his, times going around like the circuit, to have be on different networks and stuff like that, being exposed to what it's like or whatever. And he just asks questions. He's not like, picking. Joe Rogan's not on one side or the other in most of these situations. I think we can all assume that he's pretty centrist, if not leaning right, because of how the world is anymore. Because right leaning, no, I would totally say that he's right leaning just because of the climate of what the left is now.
Well, how far the left has gone.
So that brings him to the center right.
Mm-hmm.
If
you look at what he believes, his beliefs, his opinions, and stuff like that, they'd more go with the right, I guess, from the center. But at the same time, like, he was a Bernie supporter. He fucking, he voted for Joe Jorgensen in the last election. Like,
one thing I can make a point to you and, for anybody else who's listening about this is that, like, for a lot of people who consider themselves conservatives now, we were considered liberals in the 90s and like the early, even into the early 2000s. Like, this whole like conservative movement of where things have gone to really has taken place in the past 10 years.
Well, yeah, that, and also it's weird that there's these monikers of liberal and conservative on us, because when you think about it, like, conservatives are more open-minded to understand, like, have an empathetic ear towards what someone else is going through, but it's more of a, okay, I understand where you're coming from, but this doesn't change the facts of the situation. But like, liberals are like, I understand you and I'm empathetic to everything, but if you don't agree with what I'm saying, fuck you, go die. Like that, you know what I mean?
Because the definitions of the terms have progressed over time. Even though like we should be saying like, all right, well, this is the definition, it should stick to this. The values of those what you identify as essentially for like when it comes to political like party and stuff like that is swayed and has moved and fluctuated over time. Yeah. And that's really what we're experiencing, that like to a drastic level. Like it's been like, I guess on like the typical thing what you would say is like it's on steroids right now for the fact that like for the past like 4 years it's just gone like through the freaking roof of like, all right, well, either you're going to be pro national, you're for like the nuclear family, you're this, you're that, like that makes you conservative. It's like before like that would have been like pretty extreme to the right if you would have went back to like again like late 90s early 2000s. That was extreme thoughts, but then it was also kind of like nobody really thought about it. Nobody ever thought of it. It wasn't like it wasn't a daily conversation, because now it's a daily conversation when it comes to like trans and this and that. Like it's part of people's like regular vocabulary.
Yeah, and and at the same time, back in the 90s and 2000s, there was gay rights in the movement and all that stuff, but most people were like, love family and like tried to keep the family together, and it seems like the left has just pushed so far.
Yep.
That way where it's like even centrist people, even people like Bill Maher, which I'm not going to be the typical conservative and be like, oh, Bill Maher's on our side. No, I'm not going to say that. He's always been the kooky fucking bird that he is. but everything is pushed so left, and he's even said this, that he's more to the center because he's like, dude, like, what's going on here?
Yep.
You know?
Yeah,
So, all right.
you can't say Bill Maher is one of ours, because by any
no,
Maher, he's always been one of the ones, he will critique both sides. He does lean left, but like he's not afraid to punch like left, you know, like compared to some of those who like they won't even acknowledge that Biden's just full of guffs anymore. Just like everything he says is like, you know, a fucking joke. Like, oh, what's he gonna say this time? Oh, here comes another joke, you know.
He's an absolute dingleberry when it comes to his opinions on certain political issues. But again, comedian, he still can make jokes and poke the bear. Which I'll give him that. I'm again not gonna say that I agree with his politics really in any way, shape, or form, but I will agree that I will give him credit where it's due, that he is able to fucking be like, dude, Biden is a fucking vegetable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, all right.
And mock it, and they'll bring on another expert, and that person talks over it.
Yeah.
It's just
it's not even limited to those who bring like a so-called right-wing perspective or conservative perspective. It's really anyone who brings a voice, a view, a perspective that is different from whatever the mainstream narrative is at that point, whatever the cause of the day may be. And so as a Democrat serving in Congress, I experienced that over and over and over again, exactly that reaction that you're talking about, in, you know, not allowing me at least just to come and present my view. They can ask me a tough question. They can present an opposing view. That's great. But so many times I've gone on these different shows and they don't even allow that. And, you know, it really just speaks to what is really a dangerous mentality amongst the Democratic Party leadership and kind of this establishment narrative in Washington, which is they don't believe in freedom. They don't believe in freedom of speech or freedom of thought. And for anyone who brings an opposing view, they choose to shut you up, silence you, smear you, try to ruin you, or undermine your character and credibility, because, you know, they don't want the weakness or the insecurity of their own argument to be exposed. And also they immediately judge you as someone who may bring an opposing view, regardless of your political party, as the enemy, as a threat, as some.
Yeah, I think this is great little rundown that she's doing. Movies actually brought up a word that I've been using for a while now, like tribal. Like, so it's like, this is why the left is so psychologically tribal now. And it's like they were told. What's that?
Psychotically.
It's psychotically. Yeah, thank you. It was underneath the blue. Like psychologically, yeah, psychotically. Psychotically. But like I've been using the word tribal to describe this a lot of times, and it's because like they're told one thing. They're like, all right, well, Tulsi Gabbard is leaving the Democratic Party. She's not one of us anymore. We have to like disown her. And now every single person on the left, you know, that just kind of like drank the Kool-Aid, all of them are just kind of like, oh, well, yep, she sucks now. She sucks. Like, really? You didn't mind about her before.
It's like, okay, so,
or she wasn't even on your radar.
Well, forever, you know, and you know, Tulsi went after Kamala, she went after Hillary Clinton, she went after a bunch of people, which is kind of one of the things that was spicy in what she said. It comes up here in a minute.
Okay.
I just wanted to give a little bit of context to what they were talking about in this video.
Yeah.
So when it led up to that, you're like, oh shit. But no, like, so they all went after her because of that, saying she was a fucking Russian asset. And it's like, dude, like, what are conservatives or people that don't agree with you? Are they Nazis or are they Russian assets? Like, you gotta fucking pick one. There was one thing that Bill Maher said when he was talking to Ben Shapiro, and when Ben Shapiro went on, there was after Trump got elected, I think, and Ben Shapiro was like, okay, either Trump is an idiot or he's a genius. Like, he can't be both. You know what I mean? And so it's like you can take that same sentiment and put it on this. It's like either Tulsi is like a Nazi or a Russian asset. It's not the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? Like, just because she doesn't agree with you doesn't mean that she is a fucking one of these things, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It gets a little extra. So, push play on this?
Yeah.
Or do you have a follow-up? Okay, I didn't know if you had a follow-up.
Oh, no, the only thing was I had Movies America saying there, wish Tulsi would have done this in 2020 instead of endorsing Biden. How about it?
Yeah, I completely agree with that. You know, it's tough because, like, I will give her credit that she was trying to say, hey, I'm not going to endorse Trump because that was her beliefs. You stand by what you, just like the thing with with Rekieta and, having loyalty and sticking by the person that I will give that credit and hoping, hey, Biden, could bring it back to, being, whatever that they want. But at the same time, you got to realize where we are in the country, What did he say here? Better late than never. But if she would have done this then, we probably wouldn't be in this shit show we're in now. Too fucking late. Yeah. Oh, 2 words. Too
fucking late.
I'm sorry, movies. I didn't realize there was a joke there at the end, but I should have realized it's you. All right, so here we go.
Somebody who is less than and doesn't deserve a voice, which is really, really dangerous for our democracy when you really think about it.
Yeah, it's very spooky, and it's spooky how prevalent that mindset is, and how many Democrats, not even just politicians, just people that are Democrats, how many people share that position that you should silence people that you don't agree with, and it's it's such a foolish perspective, and it plays out historically over and over and over again in a terrible way. And I just don't understand why people don't learn that lesson.
I think that the Democratic Party leaders, people like Hillary Clinton, people who've been in charge for a very long time, foment this kind of culture of fear and like, hey, if you go against us, like, you're dead. You're on the shit list. You have kind of
you're dead. You're on the shit list. She put it right out there. You're gonna die.
Like, what the fuck? I was like, dude, I had to rewind it like a couple times. Like, she didn't say that shit. Like,
and it slips right in there to where it's almost like not noticeable. It's just like, oh, if you go against Hillary, you're gonna end up dead, or on her shit list.
Rewind that just real quick because that was too fucking good. Okay.
Terrible way. And I just don't understand why people don't learn that lesson.
I think that the Democratic Party leaders, people like Hillary Clinton, people who've been in charge for a very long time, foment this kind of culture of fear and like, hey, if you go against us, like, you're dead.
Yup.
You have kind of the very loud activists and who don't represent, I think, even the majority of the Democratic Party, but the AOCs of the world, who are almost like these radical religious zealots. And
Look at me, I'm Hitler.
Whatever they choose is the battle of the day.
Yes.
If you are against them on that, forget it. You're done.
What is that woman's name? Rashida
Tlaib.
Yeah, I'm sure you watched this, where she was communicating with the heads of these banks, and she was asking them about. You should see this. See if you can find this, where she's talking
Jamie, can you pull this
up?
up?
The heads of these banks, where they're talking about funding.
Be offended.
Projects in the future, and she asked them point blank, "Will you fund fossil fuel projects in the future?" And they said yes, and if we didn't, that would be devastating to the United States. And then,
have you seen the video he's talking about?
Not yet. No.
I don't know if he brings up the right one here. I don't remember, but if not, we should look it up because it's fucking. Oh, well, it's hilarious.
If he doesn't pull up the right video, Jamie needs to find another job.
Well, yeah, exactly. Jamie's a pretty good producer. But no. But it is funny too. It like one thing that I have noticed after watching Joe Rogan is I know that Jamie is definitely more liberal than Joe. Mm-hmm. I will say that because the certain things that he says and little talk points, whatever, and it just seems funny. Call me conspiracy theorist, whatever. But it just seems funny how when Joe says bring up a video of this conservative, making a good point, or this liberal being a fucking dumbass, or something that goes against what Jamie thinks, the video just doesn't show up. It's just weird. It's something that I've
okay. Like he's purposely kind of like putting the brakes on the show a little bit.
Exactly, and it's like, hey, motherfucker, like be like Joe. Have conversations. Give the information. You know what I mean? But
be a part of the conversation that's happening right now in the moment.
Yeah. If anyone who's watching this agrees or disagrees, just put it in the comments. Let us fucking know, because I've noticed this and I just don't know if I'm alone on that. But here we go.
And she goes on. We'll play it for you,
okay?
Because it's Jamie will find it. It's so bonkers because the first thing she goes to is. We gave student debt forgiveness, and those people have bank accounts, and we're going to urge them to take their money out of your bank account. So it's like we bribe these people by giving them 10 grand.
Right.
If you really want to help them, make it so that you can get out of student debt. You really want to help them? Make it so that a bankruptcy actually absolves you of student debt, because it doesn't, because it's a corrupt system.
Me personally, be accountable for the fucking decisions that you make. I'm sorry. It's a life decision.
Very true.
Be accountable for it. Don't make fucking taxpayers pay for your shit.
Yeah, that's one of the things where it's like it always bugged me. It really did bug me a lot that they were giving like the $10,000 away to like everybody who went to college and was still in debt. It's like, but they chose that, and then they didn't get jobs that paid it off, like your general studies or like your gender studies and like communication degrees and whatnot. They didn't pan out the way you thought it was going to. This is why it's like people should just go for like doctors, lawyers, and engineers. Those are the things you need in life that need like additional like schooling. Otherwise, a lot of times you can get things through apprenticeships.
Yeah, or go through a trade school, or go through
trade schools and whatnot.
That is specific, not fucking gender studies or fucking African, drum circle or whatever the fuck. Maybe Rogan will get the hang of this podcasting thing eventually.
Yeah, we'll send some pointers over, right?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Jamie, this is how you look things up. This is how you make sure your router is good and your cameras don't go out. This is how you do that.
So, like, fuck all this, your 10 grand, because 10 grand's nonsense.
Yep.
These people are $150,000, $200,000 in the hole, and some of them actually wind up getting their Social Security docked when they're in their.
I feel like that should be a drop too. That fuck all this.
All right, I'll work out. I'll get that going.
Their 60s, because they still owe money from student loans that didn't help them at all.
Exactly.
And she uses that. She holds it over their head. Meanwhile, she does not understand the incredibly complex variables that are involved in the elimination of fossil fuels, or how many fossil fuels are involved in every single thing you do, including electric cars, the construction of solar panels, like everything, the transportation of goods and services. This idea that you're just going to stop all future projects.
Yeah.
Because you think that that's what your ideological group wants.
Right.
Play it.
Yeah, no, that's 100% right. And that's always pissed me off too when it came to like, oh, we're going to go 100% electric in the next, like, what they said, like by 2035 or something like that. Like,
yeah, that's my shit state that I'm in.
Yeah, fuck that. And like, even sooner before that, I think 2025 for Pennsylvania, they want to get rid of all small gas engines. So like, you're going to need an electric tractor, electric like snowblower. You're going to need like all these things that we have gas, running utilities for, but they're going to be obsolete, which is
it's the same thing as the people that want gun control and they don't understand guns. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like there was a video in Congress where they were showing an AR-15 and then showing a pistol, showing all this stuff. And the Democrat, the one that was going for fucking gun control, I'm paraphrasing and probably representing this horribly, but the basically the brace that goes back into, I don't know much about guns either, so I'm not, I'm not really saying this from a, point of information on this, but like the little, yeah, from experience, but I'm just saying, like, at least I'm not going to go try and control guns when I don't understand them. So, But it was like the little butt of the gun that goes into your fucking shoulder.
The butt. Okay.
Yeah, and so it's the part that basically braces it and makes it easier to steady, right? And they were saying that's a bump stock.
Okay.
Dude, and you could see the conservative dude was like, okay, how are we gonna have a conversation about this and ban something that you don't even know what the fuck it is? Like. It's absolutely ridiculous. But let's get through this real quick. All right, cool.
Let me see it. Let me see your face. Yes, that's it. This is it.
Like half of it, I think.
You have all committed, as you all know, to transition the emissions from lending
this is very
and
meta
activities to align with pathways to net zero in 2050. Do you know what the International Energy Agency has said is required to meet our global 2050 net zero targets of limiting global temperature rise to 2.7 degrees Fahrenheit or 1.5 degrees Celsius? So no reductions starting today.
What a wizard.
That's like zero. So I would like to ask all of you and go down the list, because again, you all have agreed to doing this. Please answer with a simple yes or no. Does your bank have a policy against funding new oil and gas products? Mr. Diamond.
Absolutely not, and that would be the road to hell for America.
Yeah.
Yeah, how about that?
No. There's more. This is just this is like a Fox News clip. There's more of her. See if you can find
Jamie,
the rest of it.
Jamie.
You can find an actual clip of the conversation instead of this nonsense with the music over it. Because the actual clip of the conversation shows like she goes down the line and talks to these guys, and they all say no.
Yeah.
Everyone says no because it's
not reality.
Idiotic. It's idiotic.
The brakes. And then that's what happened with COVID. You see how the economy collapsed when you make everyone shut their business down? That's going to happen times 1,000 if you just...
Yeah, because the truckers, just think about the trucker convoys that happened in Canada, and then like that was happening in the U.S. a little bit, but not to the extreme as Canada. Canada actually went to Montreal, and they're like, all right, we're setting up camp. And their kids were playing like hockey in the street. They were setting up like little stands, like whatever they had in like their trailers and shit. Like it was just like they formed like their own little economy basis in the streets of Montreal to block up traffic and make it impossible for Trudeau to ignore them. And then, like, in the U.S., they just basically went up and down through the highways, like, honking the horns and waving the Trump flags and the Canadian flags and stuff like that in support for them and whatever. But still in all, like, you're talking, like the truckers really run the nation. Like, really, if you really boil it down to what it is, like, that's how our food gets across the country. Like, you know, in the winter, obviously our farmers aren't growing anything, so therefore we have to import produce. You know, otherwise you're just eating canned food all the time, and that's terrible.
Movies. What? My 19th century African feminine hygiene studies degree isn't going to get me 6 figures right out of college?
Yeah, it won't happen. Clip within a clip. Yeah, that was the inception of what we're doing right now.
All right.
Is there anything else to this one, or can we move on?
I don't know.
Stop all fossil fuel production.
Yeah. Didn't we just see this in California where they passed a law? What is it requiring all electric vehicles or stopping production of vehicles that use gas?
Yes, all cars that are sold in California as of 2035 must be electrical. And then the next week, they said you can't charge your electric car because the power grid's fucked.
Exactly.
That's California politics in a nutshell, though.
Yeah.
Because it's so ideologically driven. And I talk to people from California that are just in that fog.
Yeah.
The fog of woke. And they're my friends, and I'll show them that. And they're like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
It was funny to me is like with the electric car thing, your infrastructure isn't set up for it. Like he's bringing up with like the charging stations and whatnot. They're basically homeless encampments right now. Like I saw photos from San Francisco of a Tesla charging station where like literally hobos have taken like tarps and they just built like little canopies over top of it. And like that's like one of their walls to their home. Like that's my home, man. You can't charge your car. This is my home.
And you can't fucking do anything about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, but you're homeless, so you don't have one. So,
but they have rights. They got rights. Squatters' rights, buddy. That's their home.
It's believe me, if we could leave immediately, we would. Like, it's you know, whatever. You know, Jen's got a job, so we got to fucking wait it out until we make enough money, and then we can fucking bounce. But I don't know. So, I don't know if there's...
I go, yeah, look, you're not supposed to charge your...
Of wokeism, of being ideologues, that not only doesn't make sense, but if you don't agree with it, you're wrong, you're the enemy. If you're silent, right? If you just don't eat, hey, like, I got no comment on this. Well, you are now complicit in the problem.
Exactly.
And
Silence
then
is violence.
Silence is violence. And then, and again, I have experience with all of like this whole spectrum. And then like, if you're like, okay, like get off my ass. Fine. I agree. They're like, well, prove it. You need to stand on the street corner. You need
Bleed
to scream
for
out
us.
loud. You need to do all this.
Exactly.
And, you know, the
Fall
women's
on
march
this
when Trump
sword.
got elected, right? I didn't go. I was out of the country. I got harassed and harangued. Why weren't you there wearing the pink pussy hat? What is wrong with you? You must not believe in women's rights. You must. And the irony is, here we are sitting now with a lot of these same people who like, oh, well, I don't know how to define a woman, and there is no such thing as a woman, and it just. But all of these examples point to the hypocrisy, the fact that they don't believe in truth, and that whatever their cause of the moment is whatever they decide is the truth and the thing that must be measured against for you. Like, you're either with us or you're against us. And if you're with us, you've got to prove your zealousness for the cause.
Is that a word?
I think so. I don't know.
Zealousness?
I think so.
Sounds good.
It fits.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so basically what Rogan said after that is he was actually giving Matt Walsh, who did the What is a Woman documentary, he was like, it's an amazing documentary. And the reason why it's amazing is because Matt Walsh isn't being extra. He's just asking questions. Like
he sits there. I love it.
Yeah, he just sits there.
I love that one.
What I love about it is that he is the exact same level of pushback to both sides. So when it's the crazy leftist who's saying that, can babies decide their gender, or fucking, chickens? Are they, gender, whatever, that fucking mental case. And then the other one, the blonde teacher who was saying, I don't really like your line of questioning. Like, I think it's when you say truth, and it's like, dude, but he was as pushback on that with his questions, but being deadpan, just regular, he was the same amount of pushback on the transgender who transitioned and it now has complications. Like he was very pushback on the other side too, against the right. So he was like, yeah, but what about this? Or what if I want to identify this way? And blah, blah, blah. So it was cool. And also, Dad, yes, it is nice to see you as well. Sorry that I was gone for a minute. Yeah, he called me like as I was trying to shit. He's like, hey, you're not on the stream anymore. I was like, yeah, dude, I know. Like, I'm trying to figure it out right now. I gotta go. Love you. Bye.
It's like, I don't want to listen to this Shawn guy. Come on.
Yeah. He's like, I only tuned in for you.
It's totally fine. But yeah, no, like the thing I always loved about the Matt Walsh one, I actually watched it like earlier in the day when it first came out, and then I was so impressed by it. I was like to my wife, I was like, you should really check this thing out. Like, this is good. Like, he just sits there, just kind of like how I would sit here listening to you, just like, okay, and just kind of listen to whatever it is you got to say, and then you just kind of like ask one more question, and then like all of a sudden now like that just threw like a giant hole in to like with their thought logic. And it's like, what? I was supposed to. I have to respond to this? No. This is just what I have. This is what I think now.
Hey, I just sent you in the private chat the link to Rashida Tlaib thing. Because it's probably not going to fucking play the audio for me. So.
Okay. You want me to here? Let me copy.
Yeah,
that.
if you want to pull that up real quick, share that screen.
Pasting, and we're going to the link.
Yes, all California cars will be powered by homeless person shit in 2035.
All right, presenting this.
And yes, Jamie is Rogan's little ministry of truth.
Customer research, that one. Okie dokie, here we go.
Emissions from lending and investment activities to align with pathways to net zero in 2050. Do you know what the International Energy Agency has said is required to meet our global 2050 net zero targets of limiting global temperature rise to 2.7 degrees Fahrenheit or 1.5 degrees Celsius? So no new fossil fuel production starting today. That's like zero. So I would like to ask all of you and go down the list, because again, you all have agreed to doing this. Please answer with a simple yes or no. Does your bank have a policy against funding new oil and gas products? Mr. Diamond.
Absolutely not, and that would be the road to hell for America.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Sir, you know what? Everybody that got relief from student loans has a bank account with your bank should probably take out their account and close their account. The fact that you're not even there to help relieve many of the folks that are in debt, extreme debt because of student loan debt, and you're out there criticizing it.
What? Dude, what? Like, where did that even come from?
It's fucking just unhinged. Again, it's like they're instead of
you want to she answer yes or no? No. And they what?
Yeah, it's like exactly what Tulsi was saying. If you don't agree with us, then you're fucking outcast. Then you're not a part of the group, and you are saying something wrong. And it's like, dude, like not everyone agrees with you. Like, it's just fucking makes my fucking brain hurt.
Yeah, that's no good. No good. Here, you ready to move on from that one?
I guess we could go on to one of your things.
All right. Well, the only other thing that I have for us is going to be that Jubilee video where we can go through the questions together.
Oh yeah, that's great, dude. Jubilee has some cringy but also awesome shit.
Dude, there was some that I saw today. It was just so cringy. I thought about like us going and watching that, but I sat through some of it. I was like, oh God, I don't think I could sit through this again.
Did you watch the button?
No, I didn't watch the button one yet, but I think I've seen the button before. It's like
it's like a blind date kind of thing, and they sit down on the other side of the table, and there's like a fucking Family Feud type little button in the middle, and it's off, and then once it turns on and turns red, whoever hits it first, the other person's got to leave, and then a new person comes in. So it's basically like just this game of like, okay, well, fuck you, I'm gonna win, instead of like actually trying to find a date. I don't know. It was fucking hilarious. It's hilarious, dude. It's always cringy as fuck because there's always like some horribly unattractive fucking person on there, and they're like, well, I'm just gonna win. It's fucking.
You're making me feel like I need to pull this one up where it was it's a guy where there was 6 other of his exes, like he dated like exes, and they were all on a line. And this is a newer video too. And the
ranking his exes.
Yeah, but it was like how good they were in bed. So at first, the exes had to rate themselves, and like from like best to worst, based on like their personal experiences, and then the guy came out and then rearranged them. But I don't want to show the whole clip. But what I can do is I could probably pull this up and I'll show you just the people that are in the group, because that'll totally throw you off as well. Like, oh my God, Jubilee. And then we're gonna go here to the Jubilee channel. Wait, where is it? Which X?
Oh, it might.
Oh yeah, this is it. What? What's that?
Sorry, I'm looking up the. Oh yeah, that's what it is. It's called The Cut. Is the channel? I think.
Oh, okay. Hold on one
second.
second.
All right, go ahead. Is the channel that I was talking about?
All right, I got it here now. So hold on. Let me share my screen. All right, we'll just go into this a little bit. I just want you to look at the girls and let's say people that are actually the exes in here, because this is going to totally throw you off.
Them by roast beef.
Roast beef.
It's going to be a little bit more like an emotional card, like connection.
I think Josh is like based on how much fun he has.
Wait, I want to find like the actual image of all of them. And I'll pause.
So I feel like.
Oh fuck! I just had it.
Card, like
it's gotta be right
connection.
here.
I think Josh is like based on how much fun he has.
There it is. Okay, so look at this image here. All right, the guy all the way to the left, that's the ex.
Gay guy?
Well, obviously, I think he's bi, but does it look like he has a type?
No. Maybe?
No,
I don't.
I mean, like, just look at that.
The one on the left. The one on the left is the one that they're talking about, or is
the one all the way to the left? Yeah, he is. That's Josh.
He's the ex of all the other 6.
Yes, he dated all of these people here.
Well, he doesn't like Asians. maybe.
Well, I mean, we got an Hispanic, we got a white, we got a black, we got another. I think she might be white or slightly Hispanic, maybe Hispanic, maybe Italian. I don't know, white. So
Maybe
I don't know.
kind of a-
I don't know, but
he gets the diversity in his
yeah, so literally this guy will fuck anything.
Yeah,
Me
exactly.
personally, Let's talk about
His
how we
dick ain't
first met,
racist.
Josh.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a gardener, and I would always see Josh
Wait,
walk
wait,
by
wait,
when I was
wait,
outside.
what?
I'm a gardener,
As a Mexican, I will say you're taking our fucking jobs.
I'm a gardener.
The front yard.
I met him at my job. I worked at Dunkin' Donuts, and he'd just come in a lot, and then I would just see him more frequently coming in.
And I just started sucking his dick all the fucking time.
Dunking that fucking maple bar.
And then we just started talking more and more.
I've known him for a long time, too.
Pause
We
it.
went to school together.
Enjoys you too, Sean.
Oh well,
Okay?
thank you, Will. I appreciate you.
That's fucking great. Okay.
All right.
Go ahead.
Together. We were each other's firsts.
We both were at the same concert, and then my ride unfortunately
Thick
failed
girl.
on me, and Josh was like, "Oh, hey, I can take you home."
Yeah, ass, cash, or grass, whatever the fuck
Yeah,
the
yeah.
phrase is.
We get some roadhead.
Yeah.
And we
How you getting home?
But do
One
you think
day
she
while
would
being
fit
in the
between the steering wheel and his? Okay, go on before I.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna let you dig your own grave here, but no, I'm just going through this. I'm like, all right, so we're just looking at all these I don't know, semi cute to just kind of frumpy looking women, and then there's this big black dude that's his other ex, and I listen to what this guy has to say.
Class is Josh. We were partnered up together. And
Oh, and he's got two names too, Antonio and Pablo, because he's probably fucking psychotic
Red flag.
or psychological.
And through that, Josh's personality just kind of swept me off my feet. With him, I
Swept me off my
thought I
feet.
officially could call him my first friend until I found out that he cheated on me.
What? What?
I didn't know that. I didn't know that the predator was gay.
Predator likes to take it in the ass. So here, let's go to how they finally rank themselves.
Do you think this is what Josh would rank us?
I think we're okay where we're sitting.
Yeah, I
but-
think,
yeah.
You're locked.
Okay, so this is where they think they are. Okay, so maybe make a little note to where everybody's located.
Yeah.
Because it gets real interesting when the dude comes back out here and he starts like, oh, well, I see some of you think pretty highly of yourselves.
Wow. Oh, it's interesting order. So first of all, I think me and you both know what I'm gonna do here. Sam, can you come to the back? You gotta switch back, okay? Okay.
Oh, that's awkward.
I don't know if, when you were in here talking to them, you explained
I told them we had a nuanced relationship.
Did you tell them that we just did not get along and you were just the worst lay I've ever had?
Oh.
Sometimes.
How awkward is this? The fact that it's a bunch of guys and girls. What the fuck are we watching?
Dude, they have so much cringy fucking content.
Yeah, all right, but let's just go right to his final ranking.
Minutes to lock this in.
Okay, I'm gonna switch you two again.
Again?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
He really liked that. Oh, damn it! Hold on. I gotta get rid of this this ad here.
Oh, you're good.
Jesus Christ! You can't hear that, right? No.
It's barely.
Barely? Oh, okay, whatever. It's probably just from my headphones. John Fetterman. I get these Fetterman ads nonstop.
Yeah, I fucking hate it.
He's.
I know
hold
too,
on. Let me go back over.
people.
The thing is with Fetterman, he's going after this social media shit like crazy. There's barely any Oz ads out there, just so everyone's aware. I barely ever come across a pro Oz ad. This guy is not doing anything on social media, or they're not allowing him on social media, which I think it might be more the second.
Yeah.
Play into them more submissiveness, I guess. I don't know, aggressiveness comes into play kind of. I don't really want to dive into that. Those are things people like in bed. They play into that role more than you guys, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm good with this now.
Oh.
Josh, there is
What were that like Pocahontas girl was doing? She was doing something right.
Wait, hold on. Elizabeth Warren's there?
Yeah, you didn't see her? She's all the way to the right. She's the number one lay.
She got her beer?
Happy Indigenous Peoples Day, everybody. Chumbo wumbo, chumbo wumbo.
Cultural appropriation alert, bitch. Okay, I sent you a video.
Okay.
Because I fucking can't. God damn it.
I know. Oh, I want to get into this other thing. What is this one? Is this the button?
It's called, yeah, it's the button.
Okay, we'll do the button real quick.
Yeah, there is a fucking Ben and Jerry's Chunky Monkey.
Okay, hold on. I got it right here.
But it's like the arrogance of these biggins.
The arrogance of it all. Speed dating show where you reject your date by pressing a button. Bloop.
It's kind of like it's never lined up with the right person.
Ah, get out of here, bitch.
Dang!
Careful. Welcome to The Button, a speed dating show. When the button lights up red, either player may press it and swap out their date for a new person.
Get out of here.
If 2 people can last on a date for 10 minutes, they win an all expenses paid second date.
This is The Button.
Hi.
Hey, I'm Daniel.
This is so shallow.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Joyce.
I like your sweater.
Thank you. Yeah, I love music. I'm a radio show host.
And who's your favorite artist?
I like Big Crit, Kendrick, something around that, like lyrical type of deal.
Hit the button.
What do you do?
I'm a designer.
Designer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Joyce likes to eat cheese and banana.
It's a great snack.
Together?
Yes.
What?
Like, have you tried it? It's
No.
like cheddar cheese, like really sharp cheddar, and like a banana, like almost right.
Daniel, why did you reject her? That was so soon.
Yeah, well,
That was a weird snack.
There.
I like black.
My name's Daniel. Mackenzie. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, she's totally gonna reject him right away. Like tall blonde. she's like, I can't wait for this fucking button to light up.
Yeah.
So why did you and your last girlfriend break up?
Well, it was a long distance thing actually, and I was willing to make trips to see her, but she wasn't willing to go see me.
Let's see. Where'd she live?
I totally understand why.
I know, right? 3 hours. It was frustrating, I didn't get a ticket once. Like after our first kiss, I was just driving. I was excited.
Did you make her pay for it?
No, I didn't make her pay for it. That's mean.
Are you a good kisser?
Am I a good kisser? I think so. What about you?
I think I'm pretty good, yeah.
You think so?
I've never had a complaint.
Wow.
Like, wow.
Oh, that was close.
Sorry, Mackenzie, you've been rejected.
It becomes less about trying to find a date than like just winning. Okay, but I think
He's not even concerned about a date. He's like, fuck it, I'm gonna go jerk off after this thing anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I want to go viral. I think the Chunky Monkey comes up here soon, but she is yay.
Oh yeah, here she is.
Yeah, like, go back a little bit more.
We'll go right here.
Yeah, because.
Can I?
Yes, do some push-ups. Let's go.
The light's gonna turn on.
Yes. Wow. Amazing. Do you feel less nervous?
I do actually.
Goodbye.
Why did you reject Daniel?
I didn't think he was very attractive. I didn't like his piano sweatshirt either very much.
We don't like your face.
I love the piano, just not the
shovel
sweatshirt.
face.
Hey, my name is Carly. What's your
I
name?
don't want him to do push-ups around her because then she's gonna be like, "Oh, I am really fat."
Yeah, I can barely hear you when you're away from your phone camera thing or whatever.
No, I'm in my AirPods.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're still pretty quiet though. So when I'm playing the video, I'll watch you like talk. I'm like, oh, he's talking. I better turn off the video. Hold on.
Name?
Carlos.
Carlos and Carly.
Nice to meet you.
I love that, and I love your tattoos also.
I appreciate it. I love your bubbly spirit.
Wow,
You
thank
seem
you.
so cheery and happy.
Thank you. How old are you?
36.
Nice. I'm 24. Is that too young for you? What's your normal age range?
27 to 42.
She's fucking 24,
Right.
and she is that size of mini blimp already.
Yeah, I mean, like you've never seen fat teenagers? Like they exist, man.
Well, yeah, no, of course. I'm just like, dude, like you have time now before they become permanent, and you haven't had kids yet.
It's one of those things where it's like, it could be a thing of both genetics and also just not taking care of yourself, just period.
It's mentality. It's the way society
it's all
is.
that
They
stuff.
say she's beautiful, healthy at all sizes or whatever.
Well, like that's a whole other topic for sure. But yeah, we could totally talk about fat people another time.
Okay, but yeah, her
A
arrogance.
full-on stream about just fat people.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, I'm still down and kicking, like, have fun and shit like that.
Yeah,
but,
okay,
you know,
okay,
I mean,
got you.
we can't take it serious, though.
Why?
I feel like you would grow way more mature faster than
You would grow really fat.
me, and then you'd be like, all right, I'm out of here.
But then wouldn't that kind of like bring us back to level 0 then, since you're older than me? It's almost better than if we were the same
I don't
age.
think so. I think that's great, though. You're looking at that. You're waiting for that red light.
That's correct, yeah.
Carly has never had a boyfriend.
Really?
Never.
So what?
Tell her to get her hands off the fucking table. Tell her hands get your fucking hands off the table. If my hands are under the table, you do the same thing. We have the same start point, bitch. She's like waiting there like with her hand like ready to go. I'm gonna touch it.
I wonder if those tattoos are actually like dime size when they started out, like on the flash on the wall.
Yeah, it's like, I would normally charge a lot more for this size of tattoo.
Okay, I'm gonna shut my window for this comment. Okay, so she hasn't had a boyfriend, right? That's what the thing just said.
Right.
Yeah, probably because no one wants to date her. They're just like, well, she's there at fucking 2:15 in the morning after the club. She'll probably blow me.
Yeah, that's a lot of times what it turns into for those types of girls. It's like they're the last ones left over, and like they're the ones like all their pretty friends are all taken, and like I just want to get laid too. I want to be part of the group. Oh well, you're not going to get anybody who respects you that way. If you're the little girl at the end of the night, you're not getting anybody respectful.
Yeah, that, and also, I mean, just to be completely honest, black dudes usually like big fat white women.
This is true,
and just stating from facts, like not a lot of them stick around. So like you know what I mean? Like so
Well, especially when they have
why.
kids. As soon as they have kids, they're gone.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, I can do this with my own. Anyway,
Spread the seed. Spread the seed.
Dig more holes.
What shies you away from not having a boyfriend? Is it yourself, or nobody's pursued you?
It's kind of like it's never lined up with the right person.
Dang! Careful, careful. Don't touch me.
That was scary.
She was scared now.
Scary. I'm triggered. Bitch, you couldn't fit your fucking finger into where the trigger is in a little trigger hole. No, you couldn't. Fucking little
Use a chopstick. She'll hold in one hand. All right, let's. Any other important ones to see in that one, or can we move on?
Yeah, we can move on, but those are fucking good. Okay, if we ever have slow news days, we ain't got nothing to talk about. Those two channels are fucking gold.
That is good.
The
All right,
Cut and Jubilee.
Here we go. I'll pull this one up now, and we'll participate in this one as well, where we'll answer questions and
These are great, dude.
Yeah, I love these ones, and this is an older one for sure, but. What we're going to do is we'll go through and, we'll say whether we agree or disagree or whatever as well.
I think the chick with the fro, I can't see closer, right now, but I think she's the one that wore the MAGA flag dress. I'm pretty sure.
Miss MAGA?
Yeah, maybe. I can only see from here, but looks like it has the same.
I don't know, Jamie, pull up a photo of Miss MAGA.
I don't know. I just can't, find that one.
Well, you can pull up photos, can't you?
Maybe, can I?
All right. Well.
Oh, if you're a Trump supporter, you're a Nazi, you're this, you're that, and I'm not those things. I love my country. I love my president.
So basically how this one works for anybody who's watching and has never seen this stuff, everyone's going to start in this middle line right over here, and then they're going to ask a question, and then the people, I think there's 6 of them, and they're all from different walks of life. They're going to walk either to the disagree, strongly disagree, whatever lines, or to the agree lines, and then they're going to share their different perspectives on why they went to where they did. Ian and I are going to make wagers as to who goes where, and then we are also going to answer for ourselves.
And we have a button. No, we don't. Okay, real quick here.
Yeah, that looks just like her. That's got to be her. Nice job.
They all look alike.
Nice job. All right, here. Let's
like Chappelle, I know black people.
Okay. Here's the first one. I feel safe publicly expressing my political opinion. Ian.
Okay, well, obviously, fuck. Okay, dude wearing the camo hat doesn't look like he's wearing it.
Yeah,
doesn't look like he's wearing it like as a joke, ironically. So I think he's gonna, since he's probably conservative with that hat, he's probably gonna say he doesn't. Like, I don't know. It's weird.
So I'm just gonna say like agree or disagree, for each one of them, just to kind of like go through it, because you got a black guy, there's a trans woman, there's a black woman, there's an old man, a white woman, and then there's like this like Hispanic kind of like. I think he's Hispanic, or he's just like a regular like white dude or something like that. But it's just like your typical male, typical female, typical old man, typical black woman, trans, and then black man.
Wow, you're so racist.
What? What's not racist? Calling him as I see him.
Hey, it was a joke.
It's a joke, man.
It's a fucking joke. No, I think the white guy's gonna say that he disagrees. White girl, because she's probably a liberal white girl, is gonna say that she disagrees. The old man.
These are all Trump supporters. These are all.
Oh, these are all Trump supporters.
They're all Trump supporters.
Okay. Now I get it. Okay, so I think.
So the name. Do all Trump supporters think the same?
Yeah, I never learned how to read. Okay,
I understand. I fuck up too all the time.
Yeah, psychologically.
Psychologically,
You're psychotical. So I think the guy in the front is going to say no, he disagrees. White girl, yes. So no, yes. Yes, no. Yes, no.
Yes, and then no. Okay. I might be opposite of you. I'm going to say yes, no, yes, no, yes.
All right, play it before we keep saying yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, 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 yes.
2, 1.
I disagree because I have literally gotten death threats for expressing. I have literally gotten.
Hold on, back up. Going. I just want to freeze it right there.
Wait, there we go.
Okay, so the only one that I got wrong was the trans woman in the back here.
So no, yes, no. No,
I got this one wrong too. You got this one right. Yeah, you were right on that one. I was wrong. I was right, wrong. So I think you got more right on this one. Oh, we didn't do ourselves. Do you feel safe? Do you feel safe expressing your political opinion? I would say agree. I would say agree now. Like, I would think if maybe like a few years ago I would have said disagree, but I think now I say agree.
Yeah, at this point when they did this video, because I think this was right after Trump won or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I do remember this video. Abba and Preach. I don't know if you know who those content creators are, but they're fucking hilarious. I think they break down a lot of these videos, and that's kind of where I learned from them. And I think back then I would say somewhat disagree, and now I'd say somewhat agree. So I'm still right there in the middle. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's go to the one explanation here. Yeah.
I do not believe that suppressing my opinions from people does anything good for the betterment of society. But as a member of the LGBT community, it's pretty hard to hold those views, and I just purposefully make a decision that I'm going to be responsible for my own safety, and I don't let anybody intimidate me that way.
For me, I'm a skateboarder in an industry that.
Yeah. All right. So I was just kind of curious what the trans was going to say about the thing. So now let's go to the next question. All right.
It's not very inclusive that you don't listen to the skateboarder.
Hey, I want to give the LGBT a platform right there.
Yeah, they can go fuck themselves. I mean, what?
Well, hey, I didn't say that. You said it.
It's my headphones. It's hard to,
All right.
you know.
Issues about the black community are not important. Where are you on this one, Ian?
Am I going with my answer first or their answer? My answer?
No, yeah, your answer. We'll let them go wherever they want to go. But like, where are you in this spectrum?
Issues about the black community are not important. Well, they are a part of America, so they are important. But I think that to the degree that they are made, okay, because they're 13% of the population, right?
Yes, that is the demographic.
So I think that their issues are important because they are a part of society, but I don't think that there needs to be so much focus on it, because at a certain point it becomes like there's that very fine line of we need to make sure that their issues are important to we need to take care of them because they can't take care of themselves.
Okay.
So it's that very fine line. So if they can't take care of their own shit, what's my, you go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. No, that's fine. So like, so are you going with like agree?
Oh yeah. I have to be like
on a line. You got to pick a line. Like,
yeah. Sorry.
Somewhat agree, or strongly agree, etc. with the disagree stuff. Somewhat agree. You're like kind of like that first line over. You're right there on the whole thing. I think.
Reason, right?
Well, I think when it comes to the issues with the black community, there's issues that like there are important issues with it. So I would say that I do agree that they. Wait, no. I'm sorry. We're reading it wrong. Do issues with the black community are not important? So you would actually be disagreeing. So, see, like, you got to be careful with the are not, not important. So, like, because we're reading it like it's important. So you would actually go with somewhat disagree.
Disagree. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I would actually go with the disagree line. I would be a little bit more strong about it because the issues with the black community are not really like issues where it's like, about reparations or this or that. It's about issues where why black communities are struggling versus like, white communities or Asian communities where they might be thriving in other places. I think a lot of it has to do with the nuclear family and the missing fathers and like the rampant drug abuse. And then there's because the crack epidemic that was going on back in like, the 90s and like whatnot. So like there's and then now if you even consider, I mean, heroin's basically like a white person drug, but like now it's everyone. Fentanyl has been like basically taken over by the black community now too. So
yeah, okay, it's like okay, I understand that crack was the black community, but the white community has had meth, fentanyl, heroin. So I think.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying like one's worse than the other or nothing like that. What I'm saying is that like there's issues in there as well that they can't seem to get away from, and a lot of it, and like the crime as well, black on black crime is higher than any other type of crime that's out there. Mm-hmm. So I think those are considered black community issues.
Yeah. I know you're not saying that one is worse than the other, and I'm not saying 1-to-1 is,
right.
But like 3-to-1. I'll give it. I think we're even on the drug issue, so I think it can be dropped as like crack in the 80s. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, we can. All right, so if we take drugs out of it, we still have the crime, we still have abortion rates, we still have missing fathers. The whole bit.
It's tricky because this is such a general question. It's like, do you mean that black issues of like racism and that side are issues are not important, or you mean like the facts of fatherless households and crime and all that are important. You know what I mean?
All right, so
that's
think about it this way: if you remove the word black from the question and it just becomes like a topic, is it
issues
really
about the community?
It's just issues about the community. Are issues about the community not important? And it's like, what? Of course they're important. Like
It's like, why you gotta? You don't want to single everyone out, but you want to single everyone out.
yeah. So if you remove black from the entire equation here, like boom, like there you go. Like yeah, it's important. So if you like, I think let's see here. Let's
just to say, Jubilee and The Cut and those types of channels are very fucking liberal.
Mhm.
So I'm going to say that it's probably thinking about like racism and police brutality and like all those things.
right.
About the black community are not important. 3, 2, 1.
They're all shit.
I somewhat
This is a good response this guy's got.
agree that they're not important. Let me explain why. Because the same issues of the black community affect all communities. And if we are Americans, if we truly consider ourselves Americans, my issues are no different from his issue or her issues or her issues or her issues.
Well, see, actually, I agree with what he's saying. Let's just take black out of the whole equation. So he's making that point right there where it's like, hey, we all have fucking issues. So I don't think any one's more important than the others. But basically everyone's like strongly disagree. Like they're all important and stuff like that. And so it's all gonna be for different reasons and whatnot. But yeah, let's keep on because these things they'll go on forever with some of these fucking debates.
And they're just as American as everybody else.
All right, here we go. America should build a wall. Oh, we're gonna get an ad too. Yup.
Strongly fucking agree.
All right. So let me back that up just a hair and just freeze that there. Okay, good. All right, what we got here? Issues about the black community are not important is a terrible word question. Their issues shouldn't be considered any more important than the issues of any other race or of any race. Yeah, I agree.
All races have their issues. If the black community even tries to mention slavery or Jim Crow, I'll laugh my ass off. None of them have been slaves, and Dems Jim Crow laws have been gone for years. Yeah, I mean, the way that I feel about it is, yes, there is remnants and there is residue left over from those situations, and I won't take that away from that community. But at the same time, the Irish, the Jews, the Italians, like all these other races and all these other groups of people have gone through a lot of fucking shit too, and they're not bitching still.
Right.
The only time that those get brought up is when this gets brought up.
So the next one is America should build a wall.
Strongly agree.
I'm fine with a wall. If it helps deter people from coming into the country illegally, good. That's a good use of money.
I mean, if we're gonna fucking spend all this money in Ukraine, I
we
think
could have built 30 fucking walls.
Yeah, we could have built it around the whole, and we could have fucking cut off Canada too, because fuck them Canucks.
Yeah, we could have cut everybody off. Hey, does anybody else need some more wall? We have lots of wall money here.
Yeah. And then we could put maps on them.
So we're over on the strongly agree line.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Let's see where these guys end up.
3, 2,
go.
1.
Yeah, wall. Oh, look at this.
Not expecting that.
The British old man's like, maybe somewhat.
The guy from the fucking Beatles album cover. With
the guy from the fucking island. They're surrounded with fucking water.
You have a wall, dick.
Yeah, no one's swimming.
Ironborn.
Yeah, no one's swimming into the fucking into the UK, buddy.
Shut up, Theon Greyjoy.
Strongly agree. All of them. Yeah, because it just makes sense. It just makes sense.
I just like how the white guy's like, shit.
All right, let's hear some of these debates on this one.
Public university, they give out free college to undocumented students, yet here I am. I come from a middle class family, but I don't get any scholarships. Like, I get very little. I can barely afford college. Yet these people who aren't even US citizens, they get all these benefits that I myself, as an American citizen, can't get.
You get I somewhat agree to this. I think the wall is useful and essential. But the real issue is, what can we do to make our country have an easier system for people to come in a legal fashion? It's the procedure that is too difficult, too long.
Pause that.
Okay, so I understand what he's saying, and I agree that there should be some sort of system that is easier to get in because of the amount of people that are coming in, and I get that. But at the same time, that doesn't mean come in illegally.
Yeah,
So
I don't know why there's such a fucking stigma about the whole thing. Like having to come into somewhere legally. Like we have to. Like why? But we're using our privilege.
Okay, so my sister-in-law lives in Canada right now, right? So she moved up there. She's a Canadian citizen. Just happened a couple months ago. Believe me, me and Jen have had our conversations about that. But it's not like she was just able to fucking go over there. She had the process took years. She had to have a certain amount of money in her bank account. She had to have her car. It took her forever to get her car registered in fucking Canada. You know what I mean? It's like so we're not the only country that has. We're like probably of the modernized countries and civilized countries that there are in there. We probably have some of the most lenient immigration policies. Comparatively,
yeah, we'll take everybody.
Cumbersome.
We shouldn't, but we do.
Love to have them come in. They benefit us. They help us to grow. They provide new ideas.
This is one of those guys that's all about like diversity makes us better.
Abbey Road old fuck just trying to virtue signal.
Yeah, it's like diversity makes us better. Oh wait, go back to your fucking Martha's Vineyard bullshit here and send them all back on a bus.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, so that chick that's like the homeless shelter manager who's in Martha's Vineyard, who was saying we can't take 50 immigrants blah blah blah.
Yeah.
My first thought was like, I didn't know fucking D. Snyder was the goddamn homeless center. Fucking. Go ahead, sorry.
But let's be rational about this and to keep it equal with the citizens of this country who are already here.
I support the LGBT community.
Ooh, spicy.
Okay, I support adults making their own decisions as an adult. I do. When it becomes a situation of potential mental instability, which is one of those letters that I will not say, you can figure out which one it is. There is an issue that I have with that. Not saying you can't live your life, you can't be a person, that you're not real, that you're not allowed to exist, or whatever fucking shit you guys want to say whenever there's any pushback on it. But I will, and I'm not saying you guys watching, obviously you know who I'm talking to, but it's like, it's hard. It's like, shut up about it. Like, just be you. You don't gotta make someone else feel like shit because they have a question.
Yeah. Okay. The way I would look at this.
I'll say.
Okay. Somewhat agree. Yeah. Okay. The way I'm looking at this is like, all right, do I support the LGBT community? Now, it's not talking about individuals. True. It's like if we're talking about individuals, because if we're talking about like a family member or just like a friend, or are we talking about just like some random person on the street? It's like, all right, that person doesn't mean anything to me. Like, if it's a family. If it's a family member or somebody that I'm like an acquaintance, a coworker or something like that. Sure. You know what? Like, good for you. You do you, but like, don't, push your shit on me and I won't push my shit on you. That's fine.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, just being a normal human being, just like, how you go about your conversations on a daily basis. But when it comes to this whole community, sorry, what's up?
No, you're good. I thought you were done.
Oh no, but when it comes to the whole LGBT community thing, I feel like this is about identity politics. So do I support identity politics? I don't support that whole thing. I support the people who might be feeling this way. And if by me saying like, oh, well, I support the individual, I'm supporting the community or something like that. If that's how you want to look at it, then I'll go with that first little somewhat agree. But for me, honestly, I'm like into the middle. I would say somewhat disagree because of the fact that how it's being portrayed anymore. The way it's portrayed of like, oh, it's all of us or none of us. Really? Yeah. Well, I don't want some of you.
Okay, so I don't want to, get them all excited talking about holes, but on the whole,
with a W, everybody.
As a whole, as Stewie would say from Family Guy. As a whole, okay, I'm gonna stop. The LGBT community, as it is known now, with the absolute ridiculousness that is presented a lot of times, I'm gonna I'll stay in the middle. Now, what you've presented.
I changed your mind.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, as with seeing it that way instead of like, as seeing them as individuals and an individual person that's an adult that makes their own decisions. Like, yes, of course, I agree that I support them and what they do. But as a community as a whole, and what they've been doing and how they've been presenting themselves, then I'm literally gonna go fucking smack dab in the middle. And what I would say, if being asked about this by these people who's asking this question, I'd be like, okay, well, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean behind your question? Because then I'd be able to easily answer you then,
You know what's funny about all this is that like we like kind of tiptoed and we totally like answered these things as politically correct as we possibly could. If Josh Lakash was on the show with us right now, he would be calling us the biggest fucking pussies, and he'd be like, exactly. No, I strongly disagree. Like,
send him a message, be like, hey, we're reviewing a video right now. We want to have your fucking
dude. Right now we're being fucking pussies.
So Trevor. Person strongly disagrees, I bet.
Oh, okay. That's a good bet. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, he was wrong. So here's your lines right here, where like everyone basically said agree except for the black guy, of course, because black people don't typically like the LGBT communities.
But I thought they were a monolith.
Sorry, no, it's not true.
I guess the reason why some would agree, it depends what you mean by support. If anyone dares to mess with her, I'm gonna kick their ass. So like, she's got my support 100%. But if you're asking me as a Christian, I'm gonna love someone no matter what they are. We're all, like I said, it's an American issue and we're all supposed to get this together.
If it's contrary to natural law, which it is in my view, then I don't agree with it. However, I can like you as a person. With the LGBT...
That's it. See, that's the shit that I'm talking about. When I'm talking about the fact that it's like, hey, listen, I can like you as the individual, but when it comes to this whole fucking spectrum nonsense, I don't gotta agree with this.
Those are very based takes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the fact that the one guy went back and he said, hey, listen, I totally think that, I'll fight for her or something like that. Then, that's he's talking about the individual again.
We got a couple more base takes. Movies. Will I persecute anyone in the LGBT community? No, that would be wrong. Will I say their LGBT lifestyle is okay to me? No. Basically what they just said. Yep. Also, any group that demands blanket loyalty and approval can fuck themselves. And that
nice. Nice. Absolutely. Great response.
Thank you, movies.
LGBT community, that is pretty much has morphed into a gay rights organization. So they fight for rights that are outside of the natural rights of the Declaration of Independence. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness within the boundaries of natural law. So that's why I don't support the LGBT community in their activism, but I do support them as individual human beings with the same rights as I have.
What, that is the most base take, and yeah. So like I would have been right there with him. I said like with the slightly disagree, like that's right where I was. I'm like, thank you, man. I'm so glad somebody agreed with me on that.
God, you're so woke going with the black people.
You know what's funny? I did get a message one time when I was playing in this like R&B band at one point, and like the whole band's black besides me, and I got a message from like the lead singer guitar player, and he says, "Hey, you know what black is?" And I was like, "Hey, I showed it to my wife. I'm like, should I take this as a compliment? Is this a good thing, right? Like, I know what black is." I can identify it.
Yeah.
Am I it? I'm not it, but I guess I know what it is. I thought that was a cool comment.
No extra rights. No extra right
No
to
extra
marry
rights.
same sex, but the same right as I have.
But your rights say you can marry whoever you want, right?
And so do yours.
Oh.
And so do yours.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Very good. Okay, good point. Good.
There are a lot of features in the LGBT community that are a little bit hard to deal with. I don't identify with a lot of those people. I identify as a transgender person, not necessarily as a gay or lesbian person. My wife, on the other hand, all of a sudden found herself in a same-sex marriage.
Yeah, your poor wife. Like that's not what she signed up for by any means. And like you put her through that. That makes you I'm not going to say totally bad person, but it's kind of fucked up.
Turd.
Yeah, makes you kind of a fuck because you ruined that woman's like life essentially.
You're a twat without a twat.
Yeah, because now like she's a lesbian by default.
It's not something that she signed up for. Same-sex marriage is a different thing, but who cares who you love? Yeah. I'm very active in the Republican Party, and I'm trying to make a big inroads with the religious freedom and the super conservative religious people, because they need to learn to deal with me, because I'm not going anywhere. You know.
Hold on. They need to learn to deal with me. Okay.
And that's the trans community kind of like coming out like, oh, you have to accept us now. It's like, not necessarily. But let's
Tolerance and acceptance are completely different things.
Let's do one more, and then we'll call this one.
I'm good until you are, man. This is fucking hilarious.
I know this is good, but we can always do.
We're past the 2 hours, so we can say whatever the fuck we want.
I know. Here, let's do one more, and then we'll wrap this one up though, because I gotta go. I have to go do stuff. I have family and shit. I know.
Whatever. I gotta work on your shit. So.
I know I'm a loser.
Your life because I don't agree with it.
Trump is a good role model for our children.
Trump is a good role model.
You see their faces.
Yeah, look at the girl's eyes.
Okay, so kind of a interesting answer for me. I will say somewhat agree, and the reason why is because even though in his past he's done some shit, he still is a good role model in the fact that everyone can change and everyone can reform what they think and what they say and how they act. So I will agree in that sense. But
well,
think about agree.
It. Yeah, I would say agree on this one. And the reasoning for me to go agree is because do we learn about every little dirty truth about every president that ever existed? No, we learned about like the good stuff for the most part. And the fact is that this guy was an entrepreneur, became like a billionaire, and then went on to try and save the nation and became president and became probably one of the most successful presidents like in history. Like one of the ones where literally this guy, like he made such a difference where it brought people back to paying attention to even their local politics.
And I know that this question is probably being sent around him saying like grab him by the pussy and fucking saying, certain things, whatever. And it's like for children, maybe not so much, but at the same time, you could say that that's someone speaking their mind and going against faulty authority, I guess. But for adults, yes, that is a good sentiment to have, to be able to speak out against what you don't believe in.
But but again, what my point is that, like, I'm saying, I'm still sticking with agree, is because you don't tell everybody every little in and out of like someone's like comings and goings and like all the raunchy shit that he did in his life. Do we learn all about George Washington's sex life? Is there a book out about like all the fucked up things that he did to women? No, he had slaves. He probably raped a bunch of them. Like, they were his property. He could do whatever the fuck he wanted. I'm saying it right here. George Washington raped slaves. It's very possible.
But that's the thing, that like a lot of people that make certain arguments like that is they don't take into context of historical context. Like not saying that it was right, not saying that him doing that, was the right way, but he wasn't the only one. And I'm not trying to say collectivism, like, oh, it's fine just because, the collective did it. But at the same time, it's like back in the Roman times, people did fucking, shit different. Back in, fucking the 1800s, 1700s, they did shit different.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, time progresses and whatnot. But again, when it comes to this specific question, is Trump a good role model for children? I would say agree outside of like the sound bits. The sound bits are what throw it off. All right.
3, 2, 1.
Hell yeah. Probably gonna get a lot of flack for this, but I strongly agree. He's strong and he is fighting for Americans. He listens to what we want. And yeah, he doesn't always tweet the best stuff, but I mean...
Mean tweets, they are a problem.
Everybody's done that. But the fact of the matter is, he has principles, and now he's standing for what he believes in, and he's taking us to the future, a safer, better, stronger America for all of us.
The reason why I somewhat agree is because I don't think any president should be a role model for children. I think they should be a role model for American men. And
okay, it's going to go to an ad anyway, but we get the overall gist.
If you use the president as a role model for your children, you're an idiot. I don't need the president to be a role model for kids. Keep my taxes low, my loved ones safe, and money in my pocket. Be an actual parent and point your kids to yourself as a role model.
That's a good point.
The only appropriate role model for children should be their parents. All based.
Yeah, good points. I mean, only reason I would say I agree is, I mean, like, yeah, he made a good progression through life, and like kind of like showing like, hey, you can do whatever it is you want to do in life. So like using him as an example, I would think of that. But like, I guess like they're correct in the saying like a role model, like you want to be just like him. No, you don't want to be just like him.
I mean, maybe financially.
That would be kind of nice.
Maybe if you want to be the president, yes.
Have your own Mar-a-Lago, like Shawn-a-Lago. Like one day I'm hoping to have Shawn-a-Lago.
Sketch-a-lago. No, but okay, just because the statement with the whole grab him by the pussy thing, I know it's fucking years later, but it's obviously still a fucking thing in the lexicon, right? So with that statement, he never said that he does, right? He didn't say he does grab them by the pussy. He said, I can just go up and grab him by the pussy, which from being in semi-successful metal bands and going on tour and being, doing all these things and playing shows and being bigger in the city that we were in and all that stuff, it's not far off. Not saying that I did just go up and do that, but I'm saying that like there's a thing called groupies.
Yeah.
In every little thing, whatever. Like even being a fucking stockbroker and being rich and all that stuff, just because you're rich and you dress nice and do all this stuff, there's women that'll throw themselves at you. Like,
how could you say that?
Exactly. I know that this is not, something PC and whatever, but like that's, it happens.
Yeah. Nuclear war is not as near as bad as mean tweets.
Yeah, he should stay away from the fucking tanning beds.
Yeah. All right. Let's throw up some banners and let's get on out of here.
I guess whatever.
Wah.
I'm having fun.
We were having fun. We had a good time today.
Fun away. You're taking my fun away. now I'm gonna go fuck it. Now I'm gonna go figure out why the fuck my camera ain't working. Like, yeah, dude. Like, it's not connected. Nothing. Dude. I'm gonna
have to just reset everything.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what the fuck? And that's what I was trying to do. Okay, hold on one second. Using wrong pronouns. Yes? True. Okay. I'm a little late, but here's the deal. Nick had all these people on his channel, which has 500,000 subs, when these people had no subs, and helped them get over 200,000. And when he needed their support, they ghosted him. Yes, absolutely. That was my whole fucking point. Like, dude,
100%.
There's a difference between saying, hey, when the facts come out, then I will have a more informed opinion and be able to give a more nuanced opinion about it. But on the basis of he shouldn't be canceled and he shouldn't be banned for speech, which is, we have free speech in this fucking country. Like, he wasn't calling for violence. He wasn't calling for anything that goes against the law. So there should have been support saying he should not be banned. Period.
Right.
So yes, Lonnie, once you see this at the very end, thank you. But yeah, so I think that I think that we're good.
Yep.
But with that, y'all, thank you for tuning into the Whiskey Capitalist podcast and joining us for our ridiculous conversations about everything. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and follow and comment down below to help out with that algorithms. We can get to that monetization and, get super chats. We can grift all your money. Make sure to check out solo.to/thewhiskeycapitalist for all of our links and how to stay up to date with us. Check out bit.ly/thewhiskeycapitalist merch for our fully stacked merch store, all of our good stuff. I think once I get done with your guys' stuff and all your intro stuff for the new shows, I'm gonna try and do some more. I'm gonna try and do that the cranberry juice episode, and then maybe something having to do with our internet not working or something not working on our stream. So
yeah, we'll get something. We'll get like a user error type thing that pops up.
Exactly. I wish you could do auto tune on a t-shirt. So check out solo.to/tildeathstudios if you need any digital media done or any editing or anything like that. And good old Sketchy Jesus, this guy over here, will take care of it for you. And also check out solo.to/Til Death Podcast for everything going on with the network. Really? I think that was my wife calling in right now, and I'm going to be like, really? But anyway, sorry. But yeah, so check out solo.to/Til Death Podcast for everything going on with the Til Death Network, podcast network. I think I'm going to make a solo for the Til Death Podcast Network if I haven't already. Sure. And it's going to be everything encompassing all of our links and everything like that. And then
yep, solo.to/I'm Shawn Cav has all my links down there for my Telegram, my Twitter, Gab, Truth Social, and Getter and stuff like that. So whatever platform you're on, I'm on there, and you can follow me on there where I'm putting updates about the streams and other goofy shit, that you can follow me on there. So yeah, and then also there's going to be updates for Sippin with Shawn that's going to be on the network as well for Til Death Podcast Network. We're going to be doing Friday live streams. It'll be fun. So yeah, are you reading the comments? Yeah. Decision
time.
I think children rubbing your leg here, it seems worse.
Pussy or getting off by children rubbing your hairy legs. Yes. Good old pedo Pete. Or the pussy in how long is there? Okay. So
so Trevor's got some decisions to make. But yeah, that's my stuff.
Also check out at Movies America, www.moviesamerica.com. It's going to have all that stuff. We're going to be bringing Movies America to the network, and as well as the Sippin with Shawn stuff. And yeah, it should be pretty cool. We're going to backlog all and put video to all of his backlogged audio reviews, and then he should be doing some video stuff and either live streaming or doing recorded videos or anything. But it's going to go on the channel. But with that, we are going to sign off for the night, the day, whatever you want to call it, and we'll catch you next time. I think we should start calling our Wednesday streams Whiskey Wednesday, or like
Whiskey Wednesday's fun. I like it.
Or Whiskey Capitalist.
Yeah, Whiskey Wednesday works for me.
Whiskey Capitalist Wednesday, Woman Crush Wednesday, WCW. I think that'd be go with the hashtag.
Sure.
Either one works. But yeah, so with that, we're gonna sign up, and we'll catch you on Monday on Twitter Spaces.
See ya.
See you later, guys.